Hi there, my name is Curet, and this is going to be my digital presentation for the CE 300 course at ASU. Out of all the stuff we've talked about this semester, my favorite subject was This is Water, which begins with this quirky little short story. There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" Now, I really like this story because it uses these little goldfish to illustrate how people, especially younger people, don't fully comprehend what's actually going on around them. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of tedious, annoying crap, for lack of a better word, that people have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and that's just um, the way life goes. Life is full of routine and life is full of clutter, especially at a place like ASU where you can't find your bike after 10 minutes, or if you try to longboard somewhere, you end up hitting three or four people. Um, that being said, when dealing with all this uh, tedious routine, people have two options, option A and option B, which I'm going to call the default option and the knowledge is power option, because why not? So the first approach is going to be called the default approach simply because it's very easy to fall into. It's essentially what like people just naturally do. It stems from the subconscious belief, and this could be like a momentarily belief, but it stems from the conscious belief that the world revolves around you. So anything bad that's happening or inconveniences, anything like that, it's a personal attack on you rather than something just happening. That being said, the other option is going to be the knowledge is power approach, which is basically where college students, educated individuals, etc., are able to take conscious efforts in order to step back for a second and analyze situations as they are. Um, as the video said, if you have learned how to think, how to pay attention, then you can choose. And what you can choose is you can choose to experience things as they are at like face value, or you can also decide on what matters to you and what you want to focus on. The two kind of play off each other, but the general gist is that you're in control rather than life controlling you. Um, Another way to look at it is simply that it is what it is. A couple years ago, I went to see a comedian, and every time he had a punchline, whether his joke involved him having a good situation or his bad situation, was "it is what it is," and he laughed it off. And he didn't really dwell on the negative so much. He didn't get overly excited for the positives. Everything was just uh, what it was. He didn't make it complicated or anything like that. So another example I could think of is that when you're dealing with the classic scenario, is the cup half full, half empty? Um, a way to perceive it is that the cup is filled 50%, um, while taking an optimistic or pessimistic approach um, depends on your personal disposition and all that jazz. Basically, you understand if you're aware how the video This is Water wants you to be aware. You understand that whether you think it's full or empty, that the cup is at 50%. So, long story short, the moral of This is Water is essentially that people need to exercise their knowledge, not necessarily um, practical, quantitative knowledge, but more just judgment, um, to make conscious efforts in order to be aware of their surroundings and perceive things for what they are rather than over dramatizing them or taking the easy route that people just subconsciously adopt and just assuming that everything is against them. So I hope you like this presentation. Thanks for watching. And remember, this is water.